This is part 4 of engine noise troubleshooting that I've been going through, changing the parts, cleaning some parts. You remember the previous video we just changed an O2 sensor, and still there was a little bit of change, but still didn't fix the issue. So today on this video, I want to show you one more test that I'm going to do here, and then we're gonna change some parts. But before we change those parts, I want to do that test so you can see exactly why we are changing those parts. Welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Jeff Cowboy, and you're welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time we have a new video. So let's get started with the parts and tool that we're gonna need for this project. You're gonna need a magnet retriever here. You're also gonna need a ratchet 3/8 and also a quarter inch drive ratchet. You need an extension and also a deep well socket, which is a 916, and a 10mm socket, which is a quarter inch drive. Also have some screwdrivers ready, and here we have some parts that we're gonna be changing. I have NGK spark plugs, and also I have here, let me show you, this is brand new ignition coils that we're gonna be changing. But before we change, I'm gonna show you exactly why we're changing those parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the engine. And what we're gonna do here is I'm going to disconnect each ignition coil, and the goal here is to listen for the sound change every time we disconnect each cylinder. So I'm gonna start here with the cylinder number 1 and disconnect just by pressing this disconnect button here on the wiring harness. So if it is not coming out, use a flat tip screwdriver and wiggle it out. And what I want you to listen is the change with the engine noise or the engine sound. And after disconnecting this cylinder 1, it sounds almost the same. So we're gonna go ahead and connect that one and disconnect cylinder number 2 and listen to that to the change of the engine. Oh yeah, as you can hear, there is a little bit of change here on this one. After disconnecting the cylinder number 2, there is the engine sound, the noise that I've been making, it got worse. And we go ahead and also test number 3, cylinder number 3 ignition coil by doing the same. Just disconnect and listen to the engine if the sound is changing. And as you can hear, even cylinder number 3 is once you disconnect, it's affecting the engine. So I already tested number 4 of the camera, so we're not gonna test it again since it's already been gone. But we have seen that cylinder number 1, once we disconnected, there wasn't any difference. Under normal circumstances, all the cylinders, every time ignition coil is disconnected, is supposed to make a difference. But because the cylinder that number 1 ignition coil number 1 has a malfunction, that's why there was no any difference. So I made my decision. I'm going to change all the 4 ignition coil and also the spark plugs. I'm gonna change all of them, and all you need here is get this I don't know what to call it, to get it out of the way. And there is you're gonna one bolt here, and there is another one here. They all gonna use a 10mm socket, then we got it out and just twist it and get it out of the way. And then for the ignition coils, they're all holded by a 10 millimeter bolt. So let's get to work now. So we're gonna start by disconnecting this. If you know the name of this device or whatever, please put it on the comment section on this video. I don't know what is it called, but it's connected with the intake. Yeah, it's connected to the air intake. So if you know the name of this, it look like kind of a filter. I don't think it's a filter. So I already got it all the way, and now we can easily access all the 4 ignition coils, and we're gonna start by just loosening all the ignition coils using a 10 millimeter socket. So if you follow this step by step, it's easy. You can do it right outside your your driveway. So to disconnect this ignition coil, if you take it out, it will make it easier, as you can see. And this is the ignition coil 1, and as you can see, there is some issue right there, but I'm gonna show you again, comparing with the new one. So to disconnect the spark plug, you need an extension and the ratchet, and also using the deep oil socket. A 916 was the actual size. Now if you get it loose, let's go ahead and fish it out using the magnet retriever. Hopefully we get it. And here it comes. We got our fish out. The ignition, this is the spark plug. These are the spark plug that we just cleaned the other day, and compare with the new one, you can see the difference. So do not try this, but it was funny for me to try to use a magnet retriever to put the spark plug back in there. It's not going to work. It's just gonna come right up, back up. I even tried to like twist it, but this is not gonna work. So the best way to put the spark plug in there, I used this needle prior, and it's easy. You just drop it down there carefully, and now come back with your deep oil and the extension, and you start by hand tighten it. You go all the way until you can twist it anymore, and when it's tight, now you come in with your ratchet and just make it quick, make it just nice and tight. Do not over tighten to cross thread or damage the engine block. Now here comes the brand new ignition coil, and as you can see, compared with the new one and old one, the old one has already a bump and a hole right there. So let's put a new one. You just connect the wiring harness, and drive it light on. Make sure it's snagged in there, and then pull back the 10mm bolt. And this is exactly how we are going to do the rest of the ignition coils. So from here we're gonna move real quick. So look, compare the new one with the old ones. You can see the difference, but the difference is felt when you are you're working with the engine. So here we're gonna move real quick, since you already saw what I did with the cylinder one. And boom, all the new spark plugs and ignition coil are brand new, as you can see. And I'm hoping this, we already changed the O2 sensor down there. As you can see, it's still sitting nice and tight. So now what's left, now we're gonna put everything back together, and hopefully that this solve the issue and conclude our our episodes. So when you disconnect, make sure you put back the hose that was on the left side, and just tighten the 10mm bolt. And also don't forget to tighten the clamp that we had loosened in order to be able to wiggle this device out of our way. And like I say, if you know the name of this device, please write it and let us know on the comment section below. Alright, we have everything connected here, so we're gonna go ahead and find out whether we are successful. Let's go. Alright, sounds good so far. So far it sounds good, but I notice I'm still having this service engine soon, so I'm going to reset this by disconnecting the battery real quick. So I'm going to disconnect the battery, and you do this by disconnecting the main negative for a few seconds, then put it back on. And by doing so, it clears off all the codes. So let's go ahead and start it again. As you can see, the check engine light is gone, and I'm telling you guys, it sounds so satisfying. Normal engine, the rattling sound that was there, and I'm gonna take you right here on the engine bay, and I want you to listen that sound. It is so satisfying. And if you can tell the difference, so here in a little bit I'm gonna show before. This was before. As you can see, the way it was shaky, and compare now with after we fix the issue. Before, and if you remember, even on the exhaust, look at that. This was before, when there was an issue. This is how the muffler was, and this is after. I'm so excited, guys. So this is before. You can hear that is so disappointing. That sound was so disappointing. This is after. I'm super excited. Thank you. And this has costed me less than $200 on parts only. So thank you guys for supporting Jeff Cowboy channel. Thank you for those who shared the opinions. Thank you for my subscribers. And if you're not subscriber, consider subscribing and hit that notification button so you are notified every time we put in a brand new video. So thank you and stay tuned.